Hello all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this session, I'm going to give an overview on Splunk for performance test engineers, and what is Splunk and how or why do we need to learn Splunk as a performance test engineer? Why should we learn Splunk? All right. So Splunk is a log mining tool. Most of you may be knowing that it's a log mining tool, right? So before going into the details, so let me give a brief introduction about myself. So I'm an MCA graduate and having 16 plus years of experience in IT and 13 plus years experience in performance testing and engineering. And of course, still I'm learning. And I work for multiple service-based and product-based companies, as you can see over here. So I'm certified in Splunk, Dynatrace, and JMeter, and I'm a mentor, corporate trainer. So I have given internal trainings, a lot of internal trainings when I was working for different organizations and corporate trainer. So I took some corporate trainings as well in the last 2 years, and placed around 200 plus students in the last 3 years. All right. So this is briefly about me. So you might have seen this like my previous demo sessions. If not, please go through performance testing and engineering live training demo, which I will be providing a link in this description. So please check this what YouTube video description uh, to get the link for performance testing training that I am providing for the past 3 years, more than 3 years. All right. So going back to Splunk, so these are the concepts that I am going to cover in this Splunk training. What is Splunk, Splunk setup, Splunk architecture, operational intelligence of Splunk, and how to get started with Splunk on Windows and Mac OS, right? Splunk functions, what is index data, search and investigate, knowledge objects, what is knowledge objects. These are the different Splunk components that I'm going to discuss. And monitoring and alerts, setting up monitors and alerts using Splunk and report and analyze. All right. So this is a huge list of concepts that we are going to discuss. And finally, I am going to explain how can we create some dashboards using Splunk, right? And this is very important thing that I'm going to cover in this course of in this training. All right. So Splunk is an American software company. So it is a software platform to search, analyze, and visualize the machine generated data gathered from websites, applications, sensors, devices, etc., which make your IT infrastructure and business. So theoretically, this is what Splunk is. And now, when you say like machine generated data, what is this all about? Let's understand that. So if you see any typical web application architecture, right? So let me show you a typical web application architecture. So to help you understand what is machine data for those who are beginners to Splunk. So if you observe here, this is a traditional three-tier architecture application. This is a three-tier application architecture, and wherein you are seeing like there are three. If you consider this is a web application, any web application, so any typical web application consists of web servers, app servers, and database servers, right? And now let's say when you are having some performance issues or you are having some errors, right? So we need to debug, right? So what is that error? What is the reason for that? What is the root cause of that error, right? And from which server it got originated, from which either it can be from web server or app server or DB server. Again, when you say a web server, it can be from web server 1, web server 2, web server 3, or app server 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So it's difficult to go to each and every application server or each and every web server and check manually, isn't it? Or each and every database server and check manually. Now, this is where exactly your Splunk comes into picture. So it will collect the logs, it will collect the machine generated data from different servers, right? And will provide a platform to search, analyze, and visualize the data. And you will get a better understanding. So once we go into the practicals, all right. So, and how can we learn this Splunk, right? How can we learn this Splunk? So fortunately, Splunk provides trial version. So I'll show you like how to set up Splunk on your local machine And I have some Java applications running on my machine. I have one Java application running on my machine. Right. 1 second. Let me show you that quickly. So let me start that application first. I'm going to services. Start MySQL database first. I had already set up MySQL on my machine and start that MySQL database. And I am also having an enterprise Java application set up on my machine. Right. For this demo purpose, I am going to use that Java application. Here it is. So this is an enterprise Java application. Konakart is an enterprise Java application that was set up on my machine, and it runs on Tomcat server, Tomcat application server, and MySQL as the database. Let it get started. Now we are going to see how can we collect these logs into Splunk and how can we debug those logs instead of going to. So of course, in this instance, you have Konakart application running on a single machine. However, if you consider any enterprise application, so it will be running on multiple app servers, multiple web servers, and multiple database servers, right? So we will see like how can we push those logs to Splunk and how can we debug, like if at all there are some errors, how can we search for those errors and how can we analyze those errors and visualize the errors and visualize the data. Need not be only errors, we can visualize the machine generated uh, data from this application. So this is an enterprise Java application, as you can see here, Java e-commerce application that is running on my machine. Okay, I'm also going to set up Splunk on my local machine. So let me let me go to the PPT once. So these are the steps that I am going to follow. First, I am going to create a Splunk account and download Splunk Enterprise and install Splunk on local machine and set up Splunk service startup type as manual instead of automatic. Please don't miss this. Otherwise, it will be running in the background. If by default, startup type will be automatic. So if it is left as automatic, it will be running in the background and will be consuming a lot of CPU and memory cycles. Okay, so set it as manual, set up the, so anyways, I'll show you that one by one. So first let's create a Splunk account. Just Google search for create a Splunk account. And you will eventually land up on this page. So go to free trials and free trial and downloads. Or you can go to Splunk and you can go from there as well. So click on free Splunk. So observe here, you have a couple of things here, Splunk Cloud Platform and Splunk Enterprise. So I am going to use Splunk Enterprise because I want to download and install Splunk Enterprise on my hardware, my own hardware on my laptop. Right? So let me click on this, get the free trial. It will show you a user registration page like this. So enter so here it is asking if you already have an account, obviously you will log in through this link. And this is the latest version of Splunk. And you can observe here like Splunk Enterprise is free for 60 days, no credit card required. Good thing is you need not enter any credit card details and all, right? And it provides 60 days trial version, as you can see over here. Right. Now let's see let's see how to register and if you are new to Splunk. So before that, before setting up that Splunk, make sure that you already don't have Splunk on your machine, right? So please make sure that, how can you check if you have Splunk on your machine or not? Go to add or remove programs or programs and features. Go to programs and features and scroll down and type letter yes. It will show you all the programs that start with letter yes. So right now you can see here, I don't have Splunk installed on my machine. So if you already have Splunk, it will upgrade the Splunk when you if you try to install the latest version, it will try to obviously upgrade the existing Splunk instance. Okay. So however, I don't have Splunk installed on my machine. I have uninstalled it for this demo purpose. So I have uninstalled the previous version, that is Splunk 8 on my machine for this demo purpose. So now I am going to download and set up Splunk 9.0.3 version. Right. So this is 9.0.3. So 0 is pronounced as O in IT. So this is 9.0.3 version that I'm going to download and install on my machine first in this demo. All right. So in this registration page, it is asking for business email. So however, you can enter your Gmail address as well. That's the good thing with Splunk. So even though it is asking for business email, you can enter, you can register with your personal Gmail ID as well. So I have already used a couple of my email IDs before. So I'm going to use my another email ID. So this password is for Splunk account. Okay. So don't get confused. So don't enter your Gmail password. So enter, set up a password for your Splunk account. And please follow the password rules. So it should be 8 characters, at least one number should be there, at least one special character, then one lowercase and one uppercase letter should be there. Does not contain part of email. Right? It should not, your username, your password should not be part of this email address that you are entering. And observe here, once you enter a Gmail ID, it is showing good. That means you can go ahead with the registration with this particular Gmail ID. That's what this means. If someone already registered with that Gmail ID, it shows that it is unavailable. Or if someone or you had already registered with previously with your Gmail ID, it will show as unavailable. However, it is showing here good. That means I can go ahead with the user registration with this Gmail. All right. So I'm entering first name and last name and enter some job title. It doesn't validate anything. Enter phone number 90592. So please WhatsApp on this number if you want any training on performance testing area. So or if you want particularly to join this Splunk training, so you can please WhatsApp on this number. Enter some company, doesn't matter, doesn't violate anything. So enter some PIN code and but make sure that you enter some valid email address because it will send a validation email. All right. So once you enter your email address, contact number, and all these details, also select the checkbox to agree the Splunk website terms and conditions and Splunk privacy policy and click on create your account. So it will send an activation email to your to the entered Gmail address or entered email address, and it will be so once it creates an account, you will be logged in automatically to a Splunk website, as you can see here, right? And now once you log into your account, choose your installation package, right? So choose your installation package as per your operating system. So if you want to use Splunk on Windows, so select this. By default, Windows will be selected. Simply click on download now over here. Or if you want to set up Splunk on Linux, so go to Linux tab and choose the choose the package as per your requirement or choose the distribution as per the requirement. If you want to set up Splunk on Mac OS, obviously like you have these two options. Go for this DMG file, disk image file. Click on this download now. Right. So right now I am on a Windows machine, so I'm clicking on download. And so observe here it is showing what all operating system versions it supports, right? And I'm on Windows 10 Pro, so I'm good with this. However, it also supports Windows Server 2016, 19, and 2022. And click on this download now, right? So I am already having Splunk on my machine, so I'm not going to download. So basically, it will download 9.0.3. So as you can see here, like this, you should get this screen like this, and download should start in some time. Yes, I'm going to pass this download because I already have Splunk downloaded on my machine. Now let me go to Splunk downloads folder. Sorry, let me go to my downloads folder and here it is, right? So this is the file that I have downloaded yesterday. So let me move it to from downloads folder. I want to move it to some other folder before I install it. Yeah, I'll move it into this software folder. Right. Now, So let's see how to set up Splunk on your machine. So this is a Windows installer file, right? As you can see here. So just double click on that MSI file and your installation starts. And yes, so select this checkbox, check this box to accept the license agreement. If you want to see the license agreement, please go through this. And these are the default installation options. By default, the Splunk will be installed in C program files, as you can see over here, and run Splunk Enterprise as a local system account. And it creates a start menu shortcut, right? So click on next and enter your username and password. These are admin credentials. Hold on one second. So these are admin credentials. So create credentials for the administrator account. So to make it simple, I will give username as admin. I'm giving some password which I can remember easily. And click on next, right? And now click install to begin the installation. Again, the username as admin itself with A as capital. And I gave some password which I can easily remember. Note down the password, otherwise like it will be a bit tedious to retrieve the password. Installation is still going on, so let it get complete. So we are basically installing Splunk Enterprise on local machine, local instance, right? So however, in real time, like we will be having this Splunk installed on your whatever servers you want, or some VM or some whatever machine you want to monitor. Need not be Splunk, need not be installed on the machine to monitor. So you can have Splunk installed on some VM. So and finally we'll be accessing Splunk through some URL. Okay, I'll show you that. So show you that as well once this is completed. Basically, we can access Splunk or we can log into Splunk instance or using a web URL, which I'm going to show you in a short time. There you go. So Splunk installation was completed successfully. As you can see here, Splunk Enterprise was successfully installed. So, and you can see by default launch browser with Splunk Enterprise is selected. Just click on finish. So it's simple. Next. So all you need to do is you need to choose your username and password while doing installation. That's it. Now you know that. So now you can see here. So this is the web interface for Splunk, as you can see here. So 127.0.0.1, this refers to the local host. This is the default IP address of local host. Most of you know that. And by default, Splunk runs on port number 8000, as you can see here. That's what it says, and that's what it, we can understand from that. So by default, it runs on Splunk runs on port number 8000, right? And now this is Splunk Enterprise login prompt. So first time logging in, if you install this instance, use the username and password you created at installation. Otherwise, use the username and password that your Splunk administrator gave you. If you have forgotten your username and password, please contact your Splunk administrator. So anyways, while installation, I have used username. I have set username as admin, and I have set some password. So use that password. Let me use that password to log into Splunk. And here you go. So now you can see that. So yeah, we'll read this later. Yeah, now you can see that this is Splunk web UI or user interface, web interface for Splunk instance. And by default, these are the apps that are provided by your admin. By default, you see some apps like search and reporting and all these apps. So, and the product tools, you can go through product tools and you can add data, you can use Splunk apps and add-on section, the capabilities of Splunk Enterprise and go through the documentation if you are interested to further to explore more. And yes, so this is Splunk UI. This is how your Splunk UI looks like. Right? So we are all set to start working on Splunk. here, we can see browse, we can browse for more apps, as you can see over here. Again, if you want to go to the home page, click on that Splunk Enterprise to go to the home page. And these are the default apps that you can see here. Search and reporting is one important default app where you can use for searching in Splunk, right? So go through the tour, take a tour and go through the, like if you want to explore further, go through this Splunk tour. So it will contain a lot of information. So if you are still, if you want to get really good hands-on Splunk, so and if you want to join some Splunk training, please do contact on my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number, guys. So we are providing performance testing and engineering live training with LoadRunner, JMeter, BlazeMeter, Splunk, Dynatrace. So please do contact or ping me on my WhatsApp number 90592193999. Like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed, and please turn on all notifications. Then only you will get the notifications. Right. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. By the way, in the next session, I am going to explain Splunk architecture, right? And Splunk operational intelligence, what are the Splunk components and all this. So what is observability and instrumentation and all this, right? So stay tuned and do contact me, ping me on WhatsApp if you are interested to learn Splunk and do certification as well. So after the training, you should be able to clear the Splunk fundamentals certification, right? Which has very good value in the market. So thanks for watching and have a nice day. And don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to turn on all notifications. And also please refer any friends or relatives who are looking for performance testing training and placement. So I have provided around 200 plus successful placements in the last 2 years. So please do check my performance reviews, my reviews given by few of my previous batch students. So let me quickly show you those reviews and I will close the session for today. Google search for performance testing real-time training. And this is my page. This is my Google page, as you can see here, which is having 57 reviews currently. So we are providing both offline training and online training as well, right? So this is my, here you can see, this is my Google page or Google Ads page, guys. So please refer, there are some pics of our classroom, as you can see over here, right? So please refer any friends or relatives or, who are looking for placement and training. Good thing, most of you already know that performance testing is a low coding or no coding career. So we have very less coding or no coding in some projects. We will not have any coding required. No programming skills are required. However, analytical and logical skills are required for performance testing and engineering career. So we will, have an initial assessment and we will take admission. So we are not, like giving admission to anyone and everyone. So I'm taking one initial assessment of their to assess their logical and analytical skills and like admitting for placement assurance training. Please refer and please do save my contact number and please do refer and if you are interested, so please get in touch with me on WhatsApp. Thank you.